Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm adding heat transfer vinyl to a sun straw hat. I'm making a summer Cricut projects video and it's taking me longer to get it done, so I decided to put this project in its own video. This hat is made of 90% paper and 10% polyester, so I thought it'd be kind of interesting to test out heat transfer vinyl on it, and I purchased this from Amazon. I'm measuring the large diameter of my hat, which was 18 inches, and I'm also measuring the circle opening of the hat, which was 8 inches, and I'll show you how I use those measurements in Design Space. I'm in Cricut Design Space, and the first thing I'm going to do is grab a couple circles, and this is how I'm going to figure out my sizing for my font, but not only my sizing, it'll help me figure out how I want to curve my font. So I'm going to go over to Shapes and grab a circle. You saw that I measured the hat, and the entire diameter of the hat was 18 inches, so I will make this 18 inches. Then I measured the center of the hat, which was 8 inches. So I'm going to grab another shape and another circle, and I'm going to make this one 8 inches. Now I'm going to bring it over my circle. I am going to drag over both circles, and I want to go over to my Align button and hit Center. While I have both of these selected, I am going to select Slice. That will take out this center circle. And I accidentally got rid of the other one, so I'm going to hit Undo. And I'm just going to grab my center circle in my Layers panel. Now I can delete. My hat's brown, so I'm going to change this to brown. You definitely don't have to do that, but I'm going to be using a black font, so it'll just make it easier to see it. So now I'll go to Text, and my font I'm using is already selected. I'm using Snow White. I downloaded this from dafont.com. So I'm going to double click in here, and I'm going to type in Summer Vibes. Now I'm going to drag this down where I want it on my hat. I'm also going to center this just to help me when I start curving it. So I'm going to highlight over both again. I'm going to go to Align and select Center Horizontally. And it just barely moved it. So now what I'm going to do is select back on this. I'll go up to my Curve button, and I am just going to start curving this upward. The only problem with curving it is it separates the letters, so I will have to go back in and adjust that. I think that curve looks good. Now what I'm going to do is ungroup my letters, and if you're making this, once you ungroup, you can't use the curve tool anymore. So just make sure that you have it curved how you want it before you select ungroup. And now I'm just going to manually move these letters together. And some of these you might have to turn a little bit on your own too, just so that it lines up a little bit better. Okay, I like how that looks. Now I'm just going to hide these circles, and I am going to select over this whole thing and group it together. I am eventually going to weld it, but I just want to make sure that I have it sized how I want first. So I'll unhide this, and I might make this just a little bit bigger. And now I'm going to highlight over everything and click Align Center Horizontally again. And I just want to make sure I'm happy with it. Okay, I'm happy with that. So I'm going to delete these circles. I have these grouped together, but I want to weld them together. With script fonts, you want to make sure to always weld them together. Otherwise, it'll make cuts inside of the connected letters. So I will select Weld. Okay, now that that's welded, I am going to click on Make It. You'll need a roll of vinyl for this because it's past 12 inches, and you'll also want one of the 12 by 24 mats as well. So now I'll click on continue. Okay. I forgot to click mirror on that last page, so I'm just going to go to edit right here and turn my mirror on. Then I'll hit done, and I'm going to select everyday iron on. Here's my 12 by 24 standard grip mat that I'm adding my heat transfer vinyl to. I place that shiny side down, and I'm using Caesar Easy Weed. If you've followed my channel for a while, you know that that is my go-to vinyl. I remove my vinyl from the mat by bending my mat backwards. Then I will cut out my design. You can try to cut around the curve to save as much vinyl as possible. Then I weed out my design. I love HTV or heat transfer vinyl because it's so much easier to weed out than adhesive vinyl. I set my easy press to 305 degrees for 20 seconds. You don't want it too hot since this is made of 90% paper. Next, I line up my hat. It does have a band on it, so I wanted to make sure my vinyl was center with that. Now I'm ready to preheat my hat. I place Teflon sheet over it just to protect it. You can use parchment paper as well. And I run my easy press over it for about 5 seconds. And this kind of gets out the wrinkles too. You can see little lines throughout the hat. That is more so the hat can bend when you're wearing it, so it's not necessarily wrinkles. Then I line up my design on my hat. After that, I place my Teflon sheet on top and set my easy press on top of that to press it for the full 20 seconds. You can see here I'm not using a lot of firm pressure, I'm just lightly pressing it, but you definitely need to press it down firmly. I'll end up having to press it again, and I'll show you when I do that. When it's done, I remove the heat press and place my Teflon sheet over the summer vinyl. Then I place my press down over that. I am using the large 12 by 12 Cricut Easy Press, and no matter what, you're going to have to press it on 2 different sides with this project. When it's done, I remove the easy press, and just by looking at it, I could tell that some of it was not completely stuck down. So I repress parts of this again for the full 20 seconds, and I use a lot more pressure while I'm doing that. Even though it didn't fully stick down the first time, I would still recommend using the 305 temperature setting because you don't want it to get too hot for that hat. So you might have to press it a few times. I think I ended up pressing it for 3 times. I just don't show it every time in the video. Once I can tell it's stuck down well, I remove the carrier sheet. You kind of want to see the straw hat through the vinyl to know that it's really stuck down well. While the vinyl is still a little hot, I grab a tennis ball and run it over the vinyl. This helps really press it into the straw hat since it has a texture to it. And I can't remember where I saw this. It might have been TikTok. Here's a close-up where you can kind of see how the vinyl is pressed into the hat a little bit. I have never made this before, so I'm not sure how well this holds up, but hopefully it will hold up well. Here's another look at what the hat looks like. These are super cute and you can get really creative with it. I've seen people add ribbon around the center part of the hat, and I think these are pretty popular to make for like bridesmaids and bride and things like that. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you are new to my channel. I make tons of Cricut videos, and I hope you all have a great day.